Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and people of all binaries, I'm Wolfgang Wilcox, your friend from the UK, welcoming you back to Not For Broadcast, where we are about to go ahead with the final add-on, the Timeloop. Now, let's see. Excuse me.
Still bastards, slaves were just in prettier cages.
See what this is all about.
We're only getting started. Good evening.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was when I ran
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester.
The number of blind dates I've been on when no one turned up.
A small selection of people carry the genetic mutation that keeps them unaffected by temporal anomalies, as do all goats. Huh. Day 126. Okay.
Winston! Lovely of you to volunteer for an all-nighter. I'll be with you for the first section, but then I'm off.
What
Got
the
tickets
fuck
for
is that?
Smiling Toots Johnson and his jazz fandango. Usual stuff for this one. Keep the show on the road and keep the edits snappy. Should be a big night.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one has turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was when I ran him over, the number of conversations I've had with my father, and the exact time my mother walked out. Honestly, I don't see why it's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just sit here, please, Dr. Magnus. The host will be with you shortly.
Not you, something.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Don't like it. Gives me heebie-jeebies.
What does science?
Don't like it.
What doesn't Colin like?
Science, apparently.
Oh, good job there's none here then.
Jeremy, this is Dr. Charles Magnus.
Isn't there? Jeremy Dawson.
All the
Jezza!
best minds are.
He's just being modest. He's also a curmudgeon.
Your word of the day calendar.
Oh, sorry, I'm late. Phone call. Professor Magnus.
Doctor, apparently.
Oh.
Either is fine.
Unless you mean surgery.
I beg your pardon?
Oh yeah, interference control, that's what that was. I completely forgot they were a thing. Okay.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 13th of March, 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special event hosted by your national nightly news team.
In a laboratory nestled in the sleepy hills of Chantilbury, Dr. Charles Magnus and his optimistically named Happiness Collective have been working on a secret project.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Tonight, live on Channel 1, we'll be putting that claim to the test.
We'll be in and out the schedule throughout the evening, with our team of reporters standing by up and down the country to report live on whether the device has brought a smile to your faces.
We'll have guests from the world of science, politics and entertainment, and of course, those all-important results.
So don't move that dial, stick with Channel 1 all evening as we bring you The Night of Smiles.
Smiles. Well, I'm certainly smiling to see the man Jeremy Donaldson back again.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated in the first ever mass experiment of its type. But first, let's meet the man behind the merriment, Dr. Charles Magnus.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. You're the leader of the Collective.
Yes, that's right.
So how's that work then, being the leader of a collective?
Well, I suppose...
Dr. Magnus, how does your euphoria device work?
Oh, that's simple. I just get my assistant Chester to push the big red button.
Yes, but what does it actually do?
It makes people happier, Mr. Donaldson.
Yes, and how does it do that?
Well, some of that information is proprietary, but I could try and explain the basics.
Oh, well, you've not got long now, Doc, so try not to get too into the weeds.
Well, to put it simply, everything is vibration. Everything is vibrating. A particle is also a wave, and a wave is, if you like, a note. And we all vibrate at different notes depending on our mood. Happier people vibrate at a higher frequency than sad people, for example.
Is that true? How are we measuring that?
In music, there's a concept called resonance. When a note on a piano is played, corresponding strings also sound. They vibrate in resonance. Are you following me so far?
Yes, I have an O-level in music.
And physics?
Yes.
Well, the euphoria device works in much the same way. The machine generates a note that represents happiness, and all the people and the animals resonate with that note and feel happier. Noticeable. Measurable. Well, at least that's the hope.
So, what you're saying is that for unprecedented amounts of public money, running into the tens of millions, you've built a giant piano that only plays one note.
Yes, but it's a very powerful note. And this is the only instrument that can play it.
There is less than a minute to go now, so while we go and get set up with Chester and yourself over at the Euphoria device, we can go live to the new Advance HQ for a special message from the Prime Ministers, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Advance, Julia and I just wanted to wish all of you the very best of luck with tonight's groundbreaking experiment.
When this project landed on my desk, I just knew it deserved to be funded. After all, what could possibly be better than increased happiness?
Now, I'll admit, I was a little skeptical, but the lab results are promising, and I'm reliably informed it'll even work on Mrs. C.
So it's a big well done from us to Dr. Magnus and the entire team at the Happiness Collective.
So as my old man used to say, it's time to stop twatting about and get the gimlet frothing.
Wow. Good luck, everybody. Back to the studio.
Can't fucking help yourself, can you, Pete?
Fantastic, the Prime Minister's there, and of course, without the funding from the Assets and Wealth Fund,
We'd still be types out
Oh, shit.
sticks.
and you are Chester.
Chester Mims, 24. My allergies include nuts, macrame furniture, and liquids with a viscosity over 200 centipoise. I've been Dr. Magnus's assistant for...
3 very long years.
Yes, he called me his right-hand man.
I do not.
Well, that's enough lab banter for now. Let's see if this ridiculous contraption actually works, shall we?
Yes, I think we can get a counter on the screen, and we're going in 10, 9, 8, 7. Come on, Jeremy.
6,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, fuck.
Winston, I can sense movement down there. I know you're stuck in this with me. Now, it's just a guess, but I think time itself has frozen. However, when it did, this press in case of emergency button the scientist gave me started flashing. And I think it corresponds with the one you have down there in the broadcast room, on that
Right.
weird-looking machine to your left. I'll press mine now, and let's see if that gets yours working.
Now what? The time loop again.
Winston, lovely of you to volunteer for an all-nighter. I'll be with you for the first section, but then I'm off. Got tickets for smiling Toots Johnson and his jazz fandango. Does this all seem a little familiar to you, Alex? The last few
Yes.
hours I've been having a weird sensation of deja vu. Strange. Maybe I need a snack? Well, good luck with the show.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one has turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was when I ran him over, the number of conversations I've had with my father, and the exact time my mother walked out. Honestly, I don't see why it's so hard
do
for me
I
to
go
remember.
about not time looping? Yes.
Not you, something.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Don't like it. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
What does? Science?
Don't like it.
What doesn't Colin like?
Science, apparently.
Oh, good job there's none here then.
Jeremy, this is Dr. Charles Magnus.
Is he though? Jeremy Dawson, professional cynic.
All the best minds are.
He's just being modest. He's also a curmudgeon.
On the word of the day calendar.
Oh, sorry, I'm late. Phone call. Professor Magnus.
Doctor, apparently.
Oh.
Either is fine.
Unless you need surgery.
I beg your pardon.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 13th of March, 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special
Yesterday
event
was the 13th of March.
National Nightly News Team.
In a laboratory nestled in the sleepy hills of Chentelberry, Dr. Charles Magnus and his optimistically named Happiness Collective.
Okay, we are definitely doing the same thing again, Winston. And I didn't enjoy it much the first time. Much as I hate to admit it, because, and I want to make this absolutely clear, I hate science fiction. I think something has gone wrong with the chronological order of reality, and we appear to be repeating ourselves. If only there were a name for such a phenomenon. When time seems to be looping. There must be some sort of snappy... Can't think of anything. Maybe it'll come to me later. Got it. We'll call this a time loop. Brilliant name, Robert. You've done it again. I should have that trademark. Yes, time loop. Time loop. Time. Bit boring, isn't it, Winston? The event, I mean, not the name, which is snappy and totally original. But you know, this, just watching the same thing.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Hello?
Oh, you fucking...
I'm guessing I should go towards the light. I'm guessing I should go towards the light.
God damn it.
Oh god. Hello? I'm guessing I
That
should go
can't
towards the
be
light.
something...
Oh god. Hello? I'm guessing I should go towards the light.
Oh, come the fuck on!
There's can you see this? Oh god. Hello?
Oh, I can't fucking do this. It's too fucking quick for me.
I'm going to push it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so your button also stops time. Interesting. Right. We've all read enough science fiction nonsense to understand what's happening here. We're clearly going to keep repeating this day again and again until we find a way to break the loop. God, I hope we don't have to go on a journey of self-discovery full of profound insights that lead to personal growth. I have a gig to get to. Leave this with me. I have a brilliant idea. Restart the loop by pressing that big red button again and leave the rest to me.
I apologise, you can probably hear the neighbour's dog fucking barking again.
On your left.
Because they won't fucking discipline it. Oh, God.
While I was waiting for you to get back to me in the loop, I enacted the solution to our little time-getting-stuck conundrum. There is absolutely no way that button will be pressed again, so the loop won't repeat, and the ghastly problem has been nipped in the bud before anything too ridiculous happens. I don't want to brag here, Alex, but the solution I found is as elegant as it is simple. A lesser mind would probably have struggled even to conceive of such a notion.
Get on with it, Bozeman.
It was as obvious as wearing a tie on a Sunday afternoon. I have, and this is the brilliant part, unplugged the machine. Now, watch and learn.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age when my cat was when I ran him over,
just like the
number of
notepad.
conversations
Lovely,
I had with my
lovely.
father, and the
That's
exact
just
time
over the
my mother walked out. Honestly, I don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just sit here, please, Dr. Magnus. The host will be with you shortly.
It's all going to plan.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
There's something wrong here.
No, it's fine, Colin.
Feel it? Is this like the day that you could feel that the mayor of Fiddleshire was some sort of bird person?
So this is different. Something's... This... Ah. Here we go.
No! My plan! It was foolproof.
There we
Yeah.
go. Goodness me.
Dumps.
Well, I think it's fairly obvious that did not go to plan, but no point dwelling on who's at fault for what. Let's focus on the task at hand. We'll look at the problem together this time, Alex, and I'm sure we'll come up with the solve. So, I've given you this newfangled pad of mine. It was a gift from the Happiness Collective. Hopefully you noticed it last loop. Apparently, when I write up here, you'll be able to see it down there, which is brilliant. But as far as the science behind it goes, it may as well be magic as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I'll write down some ideas for plans, and if you just select them on your pad, I'll make sure we implement them for the next loop. Give it a go now.
Cancel the show. Phone in a bomb scare. Jesus Christ. And now the fucking highlighter for it's disappeared. Great. There we go, there we go. Well, I mean, I'm guessing that neither of these are going to work straight away. But obviously, cancel the show, there's no reason to turn the machine on, right?
They can't press the button if they aren't doing the experiment, and I've got the perfect replacement show. Right, I've pressed my button up here. If you're happy with your choice, just press your right button on the contraption to your left, and it should reset the loop for us. Then, I'll get to work. Channel 1. And of course, the answer is they were available and it gets us out of this damn time loop.
No, they take it very seriously.
Oh, of course they do.
Apparently, they hate each other.
Oh, of course they do.
Ancient enmities of bad blood.
They sound like an awful rock album.
Sorry, I'm late. Verbal.
Apparently they hate each other.
They do. They absolutely do hate each other.
Oh, well, this should be fun.
Well, while I am glad that these pseudoscientists defected to Hammerman's lot on Channel 3, I think those should be congratulated on possibly finding something that's even worse.
You're not a cat person.
I'm not a pet person.
I always assumed you'd keep fish.
Domestic parasites.
10 seconds. What, fish?
No, all the hairy little terrorists.
That's what the crew call you.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, viewers of Channel 1, and welcome to this National Nightly News special event.
Tonight, for one night only, we're bringing you everything you need to know about this year's Cat Football Cup final.
We'll have interviews with the coaches, managers, and even the star players. Quite sure how it's going to work, but I guess we'll find out.
Our roving team of reporters have been tucked away up and down the country to bring you live reactions and pre-match fever.
And, of course, at 9 we'll have all the action of the match itself, live, right here on Channel.
So don't go changing that channel. It's going to be perfect here on Channel 1.
Oh, Jeremy.
I had to knock these titles together in a bit of a hurry, but I'm actually quite happy with how they turned out.
Oh, that's delightful.
Welcome back. I'm delighted to be joined by the two coaches of tonight's Cat Football final. And I believe you're also the managers.
And the owners.
Yes.
And I would imagine most of the spectators.
Let's start with you. Felicity.
Snippety Whippet, Felicity Snippety Whippet. I am the manager, coach, owner, spiritual guide and muse for my team, the inimitable little Smallington Big Paws.
That's a name that gives you pause for thought.
It's a family name, actually. The Big Paws have legacy, unlike those so-called fluffers.
The Slingtown Fluffers have plied their skills against superior teams than yours and always achieve proud ends. Tonight should be no different. Expect a tumescent trouncing, Fliss.
Felicity. Felicity, as well you'll know, you putrid pink brat.
Oh, well, let's just take a moment to breathe. I'm
Meow.
sure they're keen competitors, but let's try and keep a friendly atmosphere.
Of course, apologies. Montgomery Fortune, manager of the Fluffers, and soon to be proud fondler of the Cat Football Cup. A man more sinned against than sinning.
Oh. The Big Paws will hold the cup. We've been training all season and we're not slowing down at the finish line. You stand as much chance of winning the cup as Professor Tiddles does of winning a beauty pageant.
You take that back. You know Professor Tiddles only sprouted that blemish because you tried to poison him.
I would never,
Fucking
ever
hell.
harm a cat. They are divine, graceful, elegant, everything you should strive to be.
I think the sprightly Mercutio I performed in my mess-bent youth would beg to disagree. Besides, your centre forward has mange.
Oh, have you glanced at your team recently? They're more verbal than fancy footwork, and their teamwork is so chaotic it's like playing against dogs.
You take that back.
Never. In fact, I'll go further. Your team is lazy, disorganized, and matted. You'd have done better to get them all spayed.
Well, we seem to be a whisker away from a fist fight here.
Will you stop with the cat puns?
I concur. If we could all just calm down, please.
Can't stop meow. I've got too many of these.
So, both of you, I have a question. Cats. They're pointless, really, aren't they?
Huh?
So, I was right. It turns out that when I turned down the Euphoria experiment for Channel 1, Channel 3 decided they'd make room. And the experiment went ahead as planned.
Motherfuckers.
Unless they have their own Alex Winston to press that red button, we may be stuck here forever. But assuming we're not, not, let's talk about next time round. I suppose if we're going to be stuck here, we may as well get to know each other. We'll start with me. Did you know that I like...
Oh, fuck.
mushrooms? Also, things like the feel of dew on your face in the hills of the Cotswolds. Or a brisk autumn morn. Although, to be honest, some of those I can kind of take or leave. Oh, here's another one. Did you know that I love the sound of
Think about that.
jazz? If you ask me, very little in this world can beat an afternoon alone with the rhythms. Listen, I have a question for you. Do you like the feeling when a man you don't know particularly well brushes against you in the corridor and suddenly you feel a stirring in the...
Thank you so much. I was not ready to have that conversation with fucking Bozeman. Bloody hell, you're a bit calm considering. You got your fucking headphones on so you don't know about it, do you twat?
All we've done here is delay the inevitable, I feel. Won't they just come back up and press the button later? Seems this may have been one of your more short-sighted ideas, Alex.
Oh, shut
We'll
up.
fix it for the next loop. Speaking of, is that your old replacement cleaning the studio now? I wonder if they'll clean the... I'm going to fire that cleaner, but in the meantime, I have a better idea, and it's guaranteed to work.
Uh-huh. I see.
Disclosure here, Winston. I may have gone a little overboard on this one.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my Well, why is my machine covered up?
If you could just sit here, please. That's
Someone
my
has covered up my machine. You there!
Who, me?
Why have you covered up my device?
Not me, mate. I do sound. I breathe it. It just feels wrong, doesn't it?
There's nothing suspicious. Bozeman just wants to do a big reveal. Perhaps Chester would like to.
Really? Can I?
Oh, if you must. Try not to injure yourself.
Yes, Dr. Magnus.
Everything set?
Just a small change. We're going to do a big reveal.
Sorry I'm late. Leaky gusset, where do you want me?
Over there with Chester.
Chester Mims, 24. My favourite odours are cinnamon, pine leaves, and of course, Asian yogurt.
Okay.
Preferably 7 months old if possible.
You'll have to forgive Chester.
Gives it a good nose.
He takes personality advice from women's magazines.
Oh, we had a makeup artist that did that.
Really?
She's dead now.
So, who's opening?
Just trim it down and throw it to Megan.
Don't be joking. She's not dead. Probably just unemployed.
Consider it trimmed.
Possibly homeless, I suppose.
10 seconds.
I mean,
She could be dead.
I wouldn't know.
Going in
You
5,
scare me.
4, 3.
Good evening. It's March the 13th, 1985, and you join us for a National Nightly News special event. Dr. Charles Magnus and his tritely named team have been building a machine which they claim will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Sounds ludicrous to me. Megan?
Thanks, Jeremy. I am here with Chester Mims, Dr. Magnus's assistant.
Right-hand man.
Sorry?
Right-hand man. He calls me his right-hand man.
I do not.
He does, sometimes.
Well, Chester, without any further ado, let's unveil this Euphoria device. I'm excited, actually. You excited, Chester?
Not really. I've seen the device before.
Okay, let's go for it, everybody. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, for goodness sake, Chester.
It's larger than I anticipated.
Equal, lots of force. Upwards.
Yes, no.
Yes. Never mind. That was just.
Oh, those will smash the shit out of the bar.
My device! What's happened? Oh.
I don't know. I don't know what's happened.
Well, it appears we'll be having a change of schedule here tonight on Channel 1. Perhaps there's another experiment we can get up and running. We could see if badgers can flip pancakes or work out exactly how much stupid there is.
We're cancelling the experiment?
Of course not, Chester.
Wait, what?
I don't see how we can proceed.
It's fine. We have another device back at the laboratory in Chindlebury. And,
Oh,
I'm
for
Gerald
fuck's
is watching
sake.
this now, and if he does, he was expecting there might be some teething problems. He can just fire up that one and off we go. Gerald, if you're watching, we will fire it up now, please. Thank
Well,
you.
that is handy.
Well, that's annoying.
It appears the experiment will be proceeding anyway, if untelevised. So here's hoping we'll crack a smile sometime soon.
Oh, terrific.
Only takes a few seconds to charge up the new device, and then Gerald will just...
What now then, smarty pants?
Irritating. I have tickets for Smiling Toots Johnson, for God's sake. I'll be damned if I'm going to miss it. So what have we learned? We can't cancel the show in any way, or they'll do it on another channel. We can't bring the device. They'll just use the backup. So, if we can't nobble the machine, we'll have to nobble the show somehow. We've got a few options to consider. We can put a guard on the machine so it can't be used, or we can change up the hosts and see if we can break the show that way. Or, I suppose, we could let everyone know what's going on and see if we can stop it happening again. Which do you want to do, Winston?
Telling everyone seems like the way to go to make it stop. So I kind of want to see what the rest of the routes do first. Let's change the hosts.
This one's going to be an absolute train wreck. There's a reason I keep them both behind camera. We'll be lucky if they make it to the opening titles. Absolutely no training. This is going to be a disaster. I've told them it's a job swap. They're all so freaked out. It's been a lovely day.
Bloody brilliant.
This is a stupid idea.
Hope my nan's watching for herself.
Stupid idea for both men to come from books on the trip and management style. This has to rank as the stupidest.
It's my favourite version yet.
This is so fun. I don't want to be on TV. Job swap! I'm not using my books.
Don't use your real surname. God, no, I don't. You look amazing. They're going to love you.
How do I look?
Like a used car salesman.
Excellent. Sprong's considered Enterprise to be prime among them.
Where's that, Colin?
No one knows. It was written on the spoon.
On a spoon.
10 seconds! Down the
Where
side of
are
the
the guests?
5, 4, oh God, shit, 2, go!
Good evening. I'm Jenny Skywalker.
And I'm Colin. The wooden one. The spoon, that's how they're able to get the writing down the spoon.
Colin, shut up! Just carry on!
You're not supposed to be heard.
Follow the auto cue then.
Oh, right, the auto cue. Snuggled into the warmly heaving bosom of Tinterbury, nestling in the soft embrace of its tempting soul. Who wrote this? I did not write this.
I wrote it, just read it.
It's like a bad erotic romance novel.
A team of strong but inwardly vulnerable scientists have knotted their collective brows in pulsing concentration as they strive heroically towards one end and one end alone.
To make us all happier.
Oh my god, Megan Wolf uses Tumblr.
It says, let's find out tonight on
The Night of Smiles.
Title, 45 seconds.
Magnus seems to enjoy torturing him with impossibly convoluted maths problems.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the machine thrusting firmly upwards behind. Actually, it's over there. Will be expertly turned on in the first ever mass experiment of its type. But first, let's meet the man behind the merriment.
The boy with the joy.
Dr.
The bloke with the jokes. I've got loads of these.
I don't tell jokes. I'm really awful at them.
Dr. Charles Magnus, thank you for being here, and I'm sorry about, well, pretty much everything, but especially Colin. Dr. Magnus, why devote your life to something as ephemeral as happiness?
Well, I suppose I'd seen happy people from time to time, and I thought it looked nice.
But shouldn't happiness come as a result of our personal experiences? Shouldn't it be earned?
Not necessarily. One of my uncles once won a year's happiness on a scratch card.
Yeah, that question was
Yes, but our surreal friend here does make a good point. I mean, why should we have to earn happiness when we could have it for free?
Because, well, then it doesn't mean anything, does it? It's not real happiness. It's just a drug administered through the air.
I don't think that's very
What
fair.
about if someone at home tonight watching this has just experienced a bereavement? What if they don't want to feel happier? What if your device interferes with the natural process of grieving? Have you considered that?
Well, my device will... there's no malice intended. Chester, come here a minute.
Let's welcome Chester to the show.
Chester Mims, 24. I enjoy science, orienteering, and the cheeses of the West Country.
Chester, have we made the calculations for the recently bereaved?
Yes, I'm sure we have. 1 second, I'll just...
Dr. Magnus, have your team done an adequate risk assessment for this experiment?
Yes, we have. I think we have, yes.
Oh, that's cool. Look, he's starting to crack.
Child, affecting boxers, and other aggression-based activities. Yes. Affect unbereaved and potential corrected for about 18%. Yes, provided that no one messes around with the circuitry on the relay, I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine.
Well, I believe we have a special message from the Prime Ministers to wish you luck. Maybe we should wish us all luck.
You know, you weren't the only channel that wanted to run this experiment live.
Oh, no, we're really glad you're here.
Well, you've seen very cynical.
Sorry, I don't usually host these things.
Yes, we were promised Jeremy Donaldson.
That probably would have been much better for you.
You know, I've a good mind to call the whole thing off.
No. I'm never watching TV again. Let's just listen to the Prime Ministers.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Advance, Julie and I just wanted to wish all of you the very best of luck with tonight's groundbreaking experiment.
When this project landed on my desk, I just knew it deserved to be funded. After all, what could possibly be better than increased happiness?
Damn it, she's talked him back into it.
I was a little skeptical, but
Imagine
the
if
lab
we could get
results
him
are
to call it
promising,
off.
and I'm reliably informed it'll even work on this estate.
So it's a big well done from us.
Winston, I've noticed something that I would imagine you have too. Every time Magnus appears, he lists 6 tragic facts from his life. Why?
And get the gimlet frothing.
Wow. Good luck, everybody. Back to the studio.
Welcome back. Let's press this button and see if the universe breaks.
The odds of the universe actually breaking are infinitesimally small.
Well, you two better get your story straight. It's a bit of fun. Wouldn't want to do it every time, though.
Damnation! My staff are just too bloody good at multitasking.
Right.
Well, if nothing else, I'm sure Bannon will be able to annoy Magnus out of doing the experiment. Even short won't be enough to rein him in.
Indeed. But just before we press the big red button, I'm going to end this episode here. In the next one, we'll see how Patrick Bannon fucks everything up again. Thank you so much for watching, and good night out there, whatever you are.